Good afternoon, everybody. I am Katie Pace, the Hardin County Extension Agent. We are here with another session for our career interviews. Today I have with me Jay Hill, who is kind of a household name. He is kind of been dubbed the Millennial Farmer. So, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Get in trouble if you call me somebody that's like a YouTube sensation that's called a millennial farmer. But at the same time, I am a millennial and I am a farmer.
Well, I think that, that's pretty much what everybody's kind of dubbed you over the years. Well, I guess we'll kind of get started about, your background. I personally have followed your story for like 7 years now. I think I originally saw you on AgGrad Snapchat when I was still in college, which
There you go. Yeah.
if you want to just hit it off with your background and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I consider myself a generation and a half farmer. I did not grow up in a household that derived our income from agriculture. My dad grew up on a small farm in Tennessee and through a long, crazy story, worked his way out west, went to college at what is now UTEP, which was Texas Western, and hated the desert. When he finished his degree, he wanted to get out of the desert. Moved back to Illinois, and Vietnam broke out. He got drafted, and they sent him back to Fort Bliss, El Paso, Texas. And so I guess that's when it's kind of understood that maybe he was called to be in the desert Southwest. So he started Hill Farms in 1969 as a small hobby farm. And so I got to grow up in the 80s and early 90s on a small hobby farm. He worked for a technical school company as a recruiter. And in the weekends, he was a weekend warrior on the farm. And at 16, I asked him, "Hey, I'd like to be a farmer," and he said, "Absolutely not. Horrible idea. Something that you're really genuinely passionate about. Maybe you should look at a business proposition." So we looked at how do we really start becoming farmers, and we came up with a crop of onions and marketing those onions and getting involved. At 16, I got my first true job, even though I was always busy around that little 10 acres that we had. But I went to work for a produce company and started with loading onions onto trucks, and then I worked for that company for years, every summer. And I would go to work at about 4:55 in the afternoon, and I would get home about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd sleep for a couple hours, and then I would get up and I'd work on my farm until I had to go back to work. And as that shifted, my job eventually called me into the office, onto the sales desk, and into the logistics department, booking trucks and handling contracts and things like that. As that happened, my time on the farm was getting split less and less and less and be a farmer. And so about 5 years ago, I decided to make the split out of an office job and full-time in farming. Those days I was farming about 800 acres and mixed vegetables, cabbage, lettuce, onions, pecans and alfalfa and things like that. And then I got in with a group of businessmen that wanted to look at the agricultural sector. And I've been partners with them for 4 years now. That's Wholesome Valley Farms. Wholesome Valley Farms is main base of operations out of Las Cruces, Mexico. But they do farm about in Otero County. And I manage that operation for that group, as well as my dad is a partner in that group as well. So that keeps him active on the farm. He turns 80 this year. And he acts like he's so. With that being said, I made a switch into the great state of Texas 3 years ago. Farm in Del City, Texas. And part of what we farm here, we bought a feed company called Chaffee. It's a premium alfalfa product that we ferment in a bag and we ship it all over the world. And I think domestically we have somewhere around 600 dealers here in the United States. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of challenge, and I don't think I was quite prepared to jump off into something so big so fast. But at the same time, good support from my family and great support from the good Lord. We farm about 18,000 acres now. We've got roughly 120 full-time employees. I've got some unbelievable business partners and unbelievable employees. See ourselves continue.
That is quite the story.
Yeah,
So,
every day I wake up and I'm like, what happened yesterday?
in fact, I know Chaffee. I live in, I guess it's pretty rural Southeast Texas. Even our feed store sells Chaffee. So I was fairly surprised when I saw it, actually. I know that Del City has been a challenge because, again, I've followed your story for quite some time. You want to talk about some of the innovations that you have there or anywhere? Because I know you are really big on sustainable farming.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm, not being a multi-generation farmer is a cursing and a blessing. The fact that I don't have the skill set that so many families might have had before. At the same time, that's pushed me to innovate even more because I want to be able to. Farming in a desert has its own unique challenges, and water, of course, is a huge challenge. And so, for us, trying to figure out ways to effectively grow crops more sustainably. I hate the word sustainable, by the way, but um, we have to look at what we can do to produce a crop more efficiently. And with a consumer base that is asking more and more questions about where their food comes from, we want to make sure that we're in the right line to market ourselves and market our farms. One of the biggest things with that being said is climate change. And I believe that God is in control of climate change. At the same time, I believe that man has played a huge role in climate change truly is. Right now with COVID-19, the fact that I'm talking to you here instead of in person, um, one of the big things that I see, especially when it comes to climate change, is everybody being home, look at how our planet has already reacted. I mean, rivers they had never seen before, and cities' air quality is better than it's ever been. Um, but a lot of times, the bad rap is given to us, the farm. And so it's just so nice for me to be able to say, listen, we are still the number one sequesterer of carbon. We have the ability to offset what climate change really means. And so we want to bring that talk to our farm, and that's where social media has really kicked itself. I want to get into the weeds with some of these tough topics, and I want to kind of beat bad ideas back out of people's heads. And to some farmers, they don't like that. They don't like the fact that I would say, yeah, I believe in climate change. They're like, well, how can you believe in God and believe in climate? But at the same time, if we're going to be able to sustain ourselves and sustain the markets that we're trying to build, we have to be able to get down on our consumers level and have a conversation. And most of the time, that conversation just involves shutting our mouth and listening to what they have to say. And if we've got something great, let's talk. If not, just take the butt chewing and go on with your life.
And I think that is definitely something that we struggle with in agriculture. And many times I have struggled with that. Even I was an agricultural science teacher before I became a county extension agent. And a lot of it was like, oh, you're a farmer. Or when I went to college, oh, I'm going to be an ag business major. Oh, so you want to be a farmer? Or everything kind of, goes back to, oh, agriculture is just a farmer. And they do their own thing. They don't really talk about it. So I love the fact that there are more people that are saying, no, this is what we're doing here, watch it. And you've done a fantastic job of that. And there's lots of other guys out there that are doing it too. And I think some of them have probably kind of followed after you because it just really took off. And I know personally that I do have tons of experience in agriculture as far as like the production side with livestock. But as far as row crops, any of that, I never had that experience. So even for me being in agriculture, it's really an amazing opportunity to watch what you bring. And it's awesome for people who don't have no involvement whatsoever. That, kind of what is the most rewarding part of what you do?
The most rewarding part of what I do is being able to, is the biggest challenge that I face, and it's the biggest reward. Is to be able to surround myself with unbelievable people and watch people grow and flourish is awesome. Cool person, and people make me grow. When you surround yourself with good people, then nothing but grow. And we have grown substantially, not only financially and farm size, but I've grown as a person, just understanding what it truly means to have to fight alongside people to make sure that they can take care of their families just like I take care of mine. Another reward too is being able to watch my kids grow up in this lifestyle. And it's not a typical farm. I'm not your typical farmer in the fact that I'm going to be able to, get on a tractor and plow a field today, or this is a business. This is a large business. So for us to maintain a large business, I want this to understand this, under run rakes in the summer for me, and I want to understand that there's a huge responsibility with being a farmer. And if we're going to sit here and just say we're just going to grow this crop and we're going to let the markets do what they're going to do, then maybe we should. We have to look at this as far as what does a business do, and what is this business of?
That is a really good way to look at it. And with that, I think we're pretty much to close. If you have any last remarks or advice, whatever you would like to give.
No, you guys, if there's anything I can ever do, you can follow me on Instagram, HillJ45, as well as if there's something that you set your heart to, the ability for you to do it. It doesn't matter if you want to be a billionaire. It doesn't matter if you want to be a beer distributor. Whatever you want to do in your life, if you come at it ethically, come at it hard, and drive with a passion, and have faith in people, and treat the way you would like to be treated, you can do it. I'm proof of that.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Lastly, I am Katie Pace, the Hardin County Extension Agent, and I just want to say a big thank you to Jay Hill for joining us today from not only AgriLife, but also Hardin County, and anybody who's going to watch this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.